Hello, Jane.
Good morning.
I really hope we've got sound this week.
I hope so too.
I really hope we've got sound this week. I think we'll just talk incessantly and inanely for about 30 seconds and then I'll have a look.
Yeah, make
Because
sure.
last week we didn't have any sound.
Yes.
But you were wonderful. You were really wonderful and you were really supportive and really kind.
Yes, and you said some lovely things. You sent messages which were really supportive, which was lovely.
They did.
Yes.
They're a good bunch, you know.
We've got some lovely customers.
Listen to you!
I've had a nightmare this morning.
What I affectionately refer to as the Tash Dash.
Yes.
Oh, we love a Tash Dash.
If I tell you I'm normally here for 6:30, 7:15 in the
are.
morning, and I got here at 8:15.
You did.
There's a bit of snow our end,
Yeah,
just a little bit, not that much.
But you're an absolute trooper, Jane, because you've fought your way here.
And nobody has treated the roads. I thought, because I cut through the country normally, countryside, through the country lanes normally. I thought, no, I'll go on the main roads, they'll be treated. It'll be easier. They hadn't treated any of the roads this morning.
So, wouldn't you? There was a forecast.
Yes.
There's been talk of there being snow. Yesterday we had
Nobody told the council.
No one told the council. Oh, lovely. So Claire Angelina's with us. She says, morning, ladies. Can't stay long. Lots of boxes to move. Completion on Friday.
Exciting.
Very exciting. Happy moving day on Friday.
Yeah.
That means we can be heard. Over on YouTube, Leslie Reynolds says the sound's working fine on YouTube today.
That's good.
Thanks. I mean, in theory, if anything's gone wrong our end, then YouTube and Facebook should be consistent on sound, because the very clever Box O tricks we have, which is
technical,
and we really hope it doesn't break ever, that sends it out into the ether and then it gets routed bam, bam, bam. So it shouldn't ever be that our sound isn't consistent across both platforms.
Yes.
If it's not consistent on both platforms, there's a problem with the platform and that's nothing to do with us.
Yes.
We can't control that.
It's all technical.
But the fact that you can hear us on both platforms makes me very, very happy. So I'm going to say good morning and welcome to Natasha Makes.
Good morning, everyone.
Because I said that last week and it was pointless.
Yeah, nobody heard a thing.
But we're here, and lovely Jane has taken a really, really, really long time to get here in the snow. Thank you.
Well, it's crazy because it's thick snow in Staffordshire. I get to Wolverhampton, eventually get on the motorway. The motorway's fine, all clear. They've done all that, it's nice.
Good.
Get to junction 10, no snow. No snow then until I get...
Isn't it weird how that happens?
I get to work, and it's all lovely and sparkly and clear here. Really nice.
There's nothing. But even in my village, there's a sprinkling of snow.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh no, because I normally go all the cross-country route at the moment because there's big roadworks going on, leading up to the local town, and then on the big road that comes all the way up here. So I've been doing... You know, the roads that are fit for horses. I've been doing those recently. And I got up this morning and I thought, sprinkling of snow here could be big dump of snow in those lanes.
Yes.
And ice.
Yeah.
So I thought, I won't go that route.
No, it's not worth it, is it?
I started driving and I spoke to my mum. And she lives in said big town up the road, which is 8 minutes away.
Yeah.
You know? And she's like, there's no snow here. I said, pardon? She said, there's no snow at all.
No.
So I thought, right, I'm going the lanes. And I did it really steady, but I was here really early for me. Woo! Because I was expecting to encounter all sorts.
Yeah.
But we're here. It's all good. Jimmy, however, said 32 degrees here yesterday.
Thanks, Jimmy.
But today was 13 degrees with rain. We'd take 13 degrees with rain today because it's quite cold.
-2.
So underneath all of this, I feel like the Michelin man of the
I got socks. Tights.
Oh no.
Leggings.
I have leggings that are fleece lined.
Oh, Izzy's got some of those.
Vicky bought them for me. And I've got me boots on. No one would ever know. See, look. Smart up here. Lord knows what going on down there. And layers underneath.
Yeah.
So if I look padded, I mean I'm a bit padded anyway, it's Christmas. That's, still kicking over, but there is some extra padding for warmth. Anne Albon says, good morning, ladies. I can hear you. Well done, ladies, for last week. You were both amazing.
Thank you.
As were you. You were all very kind and
very
patient.
Supportive. It was lovely.
We also have good mornings from Jimmy and Claire and Evelyn and Jane and Bridget. Oh, my word. All these people coming to say hello. That's nice, isn't it?
Lovely.
Oh, and your mum says sound and subtitles. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
Ah, good.
Yes, because there was no sound. There was no subtitles either.
Because you didn't know what we were saying.
No.
So, yeah, Facebook put the subtitles on.
Yes.
We don't. That's why they're quite often wrong.
Yes, they
Some
say
of
all
the things
sorts of
it
things.
says, we go, no, we really didn't say that
Yes,
at
you
all.
have to enunciate clearly.
Barbara Winnard says, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful quilt.
Thank you.
She's quite right as well, Jane. This is an absolute stunner.
It's got, well, you know, the fabric is rather gorgeous too.
Isn't
it's a bit
it
of
just?
French General from Moda.
It is.
Beautiful colours, and it just lends itself to a traditional style block.
It's gorgeous. And Natasha's selected her favourite fabrics from the collection. So it's called Le Grand Soirée by the French General. And
They're really
she's
pretty.
chosen these. These were her faves. You saw them, Jane, and you went, ooh,
Can
mine.
I do that?
Mine.
Yes.
Yeah, you did. And you did them proud. I love it. It's absolutely beautiful, but it's such an impactful style as well.
Yes.
And once you'd made it up, we looked at it and you said, shall I do it in Cafe too? And we all went, what? Yes.
Yeah, I've gone a bit,
Jane.
I've gone a bit
It's a
wacky with the
clever
cave.
method. Oh no, it's great, and we're going to see what she's done with the cave soon. But it really is. It's a pattern that lends itself to modern prints, traditional prints. It's
a really quick block to make, so you can whip up quite a big quilt quite quickly.
And when you first look at it, you don't see what is actually structured.
No.
Because it's a bit clever. There's something going on here, Jane.
Yes.
Is there not?
There is.
Oh,
It's a
I'm
log
very
cabin
excited.
style. We will discuss it in
Swanky
depth
log
later.
cabin, isn't it? We haven't called it that. We've called it a stepped log cabin.
Stepped log
And the
cabin.
instructions are available already on the website in printed and in digital format. We have those up already.
Yay! No templates, so
No
it's easy to do.
sleep for me. It's fine. I couldn't sleep, so it got done
No,
slightly ahead of time.
you are amazing.
it's
when we have
amazing.
templates, though, isn't it? They just sort of hold it
Yeah.
up a little bit
So
because we have to
templates do
double
cause a
check
problem.
and triple check and
They do.
make sure everything's all right before we can get them printed and
They do,
digitally.
they do. But the digitising happens really well when I don't sleep, Jane. Dear me,
Gemma.
honestly. That'll be a lovely, another nice freeze frame, won't it? People kept sending freeze frames through when they were doing the tech last week saying, no, still no sound, still no sound. And each time Jane had a lovely gentle face. And I had a gurn of some description, but it was a different one every time. It was a beautiful thing. So Julia France is with us. And Sharon. Jimmy reckons they will have snow in a few months there. Oh, and Claire Angelina says, I've got fleece line tights and still cold.
Yeah.
Oh, Jane Carter is watching from Nepal.
How lovely.
Somewhere I'd like to go.
Yes.
Never been.
Yes,
Have you?
on my bucket list. It's on my bucket list.
Well, along with Cuba, Jane.
Yes.
It's a different story altogether. Silver
I'm going to be
Sparkly.
buried in Cuba, I've decided.
But maybe not through choice. It's just such a catalogue of errors, wasn't it? Bless
Oh,
you.
yes.
If anyone missed Jane's holiday escapades, she didn't end up where she should have done. Morning lovelies, it was -3 here yesterday night, but no sign of snow, says Silver Sparkly. And do you know, that's one of those moments where people say it was too cold to snow. And then Inga gets all cross and goes, it snows at -40 odd in some other countries. Don't be silly. And you go, oh, yeah, no, you're right, Inga, yeah. Oh, Auntie Lizzie's with us. She says, sorry, I'm a couple of minutes late. I'm being a blockhead this morning, if you know what I mean. Are we blocking? Block of the month thing?
Yes.
She probably is.
Yeah.
Making our samples for us. Amazing.
She does such beautiful work.
She really, really does. I'm going to come and see you, Auntie Lizzie. I've decided I shall send you a message later. Sylv says, the quilt is stunning. You can tell a mile off that it's Moda.
Yes.
Geraldine says, hi ladies, best quilt. There you go.
Thanks,
so glad you've got the
Geraldine.
flowers and that they're still going love to all. Yes, we
They
love
are
them, Geraldine. We've given them a
beautiful.
on every single show, and they are there and looking gorgeous. And that pot,
It's lovely.
yeah, that'll get reused, won't it?
Yes, we'll be fighting
Eh?
over that one. We'll have to have
We do
custody
this.
a week each.
So when lovely Farmer Ali sent us the fruit basket, and they
Yeah.
go, really want the ribbon. I want the ribbon, I do. So Tash put it round a present for Megan and was like, that's Megan's present. Oh, wouldn't it be a shame if you kept the ribbon? Yes. Love a bit of ribbon, me. Joy says, good morning, everyone. Yvonne says, morning both. What a beautiful quilt. And, oh, yes, Jimmy's designing Jemima a cloth doll clown.
How lovely.
Very talented, Jimmy.
You are clever.
Over on YouTube, we also have Joy and Cynthia, who's looking forward to today's make, and Cindy, who's saying hello from Australia.
Hi.
I know! International Natasha makes, you know.
How
Maybe the
lovely.
evening there. Have a gin and tonic or something, or a glass of wine for us. You'd be a glass of wine lady, wouldn't you, Jane?
I think I would, yeah.
For sure. Jane, we've got a few things to show today.
Oh, yes.
We've got 2 different colourways on our kits, which we'll talk about just before you do your demo.
Yes.
We have also got the half metre heavens, and we've got some sneaky little bits of bolt ends. Now, some of these have been spotted and you've been shopping already, I've noticed.
These bolt ends are fabulous.
Let's grab those, I think that's the thing. Oh, look what you gave a nudge to, Jane.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Look at that.
oh,
That
oh.
might be a bit of a bargain.
SJ will be like,
What are you
is that
doing?
doing on the set? So just keep an eye on your Friday newsletter for very beautiful
That quarter box.
matching,
Matchy.
coordinating. Yeah, all organised. You know, you can put all your rotary cutters and scissors in it.
Yeah.
So handy to have everything in there.
What's in there? Just
That might just be a very handy to go with your thread box, which comes with Gutermann thread, might I point out. Like a bit of Gutermann. Matching bobbin box with little inserts to put your bobbins into. Some people might have already had the bobbin box before, so we have a few trios and there will be a couple of duos.
Beautiful.
Keep your eyes peeled. She will be shrieking in that next
She'll be going,
Stop
"Stop it!"
my Friday deals.
We
Okie
have
dokie.
got
Let's
some-
go into overhead and then you can show these, Jane.
These
That's
are
fun.
lovely. There's some beautiful fabrics here. They literally are bolt ends, so they're odd sized pieces. There's 28 inches. It's all extra wide.
Yes.
All extra wide. This is Ruby Star Camellia.
It is. Now,
Melody Miller.
sold out in pretty much one show. I think
Look at this.
Karen had some.
Look at this salvage. It's got a cup and saucer
gorgeous.
with a spoon.
Karen had some for a dress, didn't she, I think?
Yeah.
Now, the one thing I will say is, if you've got at least 20 inches or half a metre of a super wide like this, you can make Natasha's market tote. And if you haven't made Natasha's market tote before, you're missing out. It's a great project make, but you literally need half a metre of a 108 wide. And all of these that we're showing are 108s.
This is 28 inches, this piece. So that's just under 3/4 of a metre, isn't it? I think 28 inches. We go 29 and a bit, isn't it?
Lovely.
It's gorgeous fabric, and it's got like a sateen finish to it, so it would
it's
make a rather
beautiful.
nice skirt or jacket, I
I
think.
love a cotton sateen, and because it is so wide, 108 inches, you know, it's 270 centimetres, isn't it?
There's just half a metre here of this
Brilliant.
cotton batik. This is 108 wide as well, so
Love
a
it.
nice super large piece, great for borders. Just have it in your stash because it's a great blender.
Do you know, I always love this for when you want a water effect. or, you
Yes.
know, they're fabulous, aren't they? So if you were doing a beautiful quilt,
But 108
some
wide, you
applique
know,
work.
you wouldn't have to piece borders with a 108 wide, would you? Look
No.
at this. This is a metre of the onion rings. This is Cafe.
It is
A
Cafe
Gaze,
Classic Collective.
108 wide.
Mhm.
This is lovely.
This is when I first started loading this, when it came in, oh gosh, it's going to be a couple of years ago now, isn't
Yeah.
it? KFC onion rings is what we referred to it as. And we were all like, oh, yum.
Onion rings,
Mm.
yeah. And then there's a half metre
always
piece
food.
of the same fabric. I
Yeah.
think what happened was we had a little fault in it, didn't we? And we had to snip
Yeah.
it up.
We did.
This is what's this one? This is another
Oh, that's
Cave.
lotus leaf.
Lotus
now.
leaf, isn't it?
The
This
lotus leaf is a
stunning.
beauty.
Look at the colours in that. There is a 1.4 metre piece,
Yep.
which would make a lovely single quilt backing.
Lovely.
Look at that, the colours in there are stunning.
And again, this is the cotton sateen.
Yeah, it's got a beautiful finish to it. A nice light weight, but you can feel it's got a good finish to it. It's half a metre of this one as well. There's a half metre piece, so that's a nice piece. All 108 wide. We've got some Millefure pastel.
Oh, we
We've got a couple of
have.
pieces of
Look
this.
at this.
There is a half metre piece here.
We had 3 pieces of this, but Izzy Wiz has had some.
Now we said a half metre, and I don't know if you can see how rough that edge is. The half metre, we measure the shortest piece.
Yes, we do.
So you're going to have,
Extra bits.
extra bits,
Mhm.
but the minimum is half a metre. You can see it's the end of the vault.
It is.
It's
It's
what's
such,
come off.
such is the nature of a bolt end. We don't want to cut a nice, neat edge for you. We could throw that little skiddly bit in the scrap, but we'd rather give it to you.
And
let
there's
you
a
make use
metre
of it.
piece there as well. Look, this
Lovely.
is beautiful. You could have such fun with your fussy cutting with this.
You so could. And I made my coat out of the blue version of the Millefiori. It's really brilliant for dressmaking. It's so impactful. Izzy Wiz has had a piece of this as well. She's going to make herself a wafty top.
There's 60 centimetres of this. Is it Lady Luck? This is in
I
its
think this
Tula
might
pink.
have gone, but you know, I wouldn't be surprised.
This has
I
got
wanted
a
this
beautiful ombre to it. So it
Yes.
starts with the purples, pinks through to the reds, and then goes orange, yellow, green, lilacs,
It's lovely,
and
isn't
back
it?
again. So it's such a fun fabric for children.
Yeah, it's marvellous.
And again, it's a 60 centimetre piece, so it's just that bit more than half a metre.
Lovely for dressmaking as well. Lovely
Yeah.
cotton sateen. You could make a lovely little dress in that.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous.
This is a nice piece of classic. Look at this. This would
Oh,
look
yes.
beautiful on the back of the quilt behind us, wouldn't it?
It would now. This is a Riley Blake. It's from a collection called Exquisite.
This is the 1.5
just-
metre piece. So it's extra wide. It's 108 wide, but it's 1.5 metres. So that really is a good size quilt backing.
Really lovely.
Soft furnishings as well, because it's a nice weight. Some more of the
Yes, lotus leaf.
but in the pastel.
Mm.
That's rather stunning. Look at the colours in there.
Love
That
it.
is just beautiful. I love this
And the
little
sateen
pink
is so
in
nice
there.
against your skin as well. So if you are
Yeah.
using these for backing your project, you know, maybe you've got baby quilts and things you want to put a lovely soft backing onto. It's so nice.
It is, it's lovely. I'm just trying to find the label with how much is on here. I can't find it.
Oh,
Oh, it is,
Jane.
70
There
centimetres.
we go.
So just under 3/4 of a metre. Beautiful.
Fabulous.
Then we've got some of the confetti,
Yes, ombre confetti.
ombre confetti.
Lovely.
This is a 60 centimetre piece.
Yeah, more than enough for your market.
V and
tote.
Co from Moda.
Mhm.
So you can see there how that ombres. I lift that piece up there.
That's great, isn't it?
So if I lift this up, if we go, can we go
Yeah, of course
forward?
you can go wide.
You
What
can
I would say
see
as well is, you know,
How that ombre. So
yeah.
from the
Should we go
middle,
sideways so you can see it. There we go.
yeah, you can see that's the middle, and it goes through to the edge.
That's doubled.
dark.
So
And it comes from the other side then, so it goes light to dark to the selvage. So it's a really lovely, and it's double that width. So that's how wide 108 is, twice that width.
you could have loads of fun with infinity scarfing, things like this as well.
Oh
you know.
yes, yeah. But can you imagine doing a binding with this fabric?
Gorgeous.
It'd look lovely, wouldn't it?
Gorgeous. Working its way around.
Working its way around,
Oh,
shading
lovely.
through.
Really
So that's
lovely.
a 60 centimetre piece. And are they the same colour or are they slightly different? Because
So
this
we've
looks
got
more
cherry,
pinky.
and then we've got confetti pink. This is
Yes,
the confetti pink.
this is
bigger
confetti
piece.
pink.
Yeah, yeah.
Now, that one feels quite sateen, but this one feels more like cotton. I don't know if they are different, but they're both V&Co
think there is a
ombres,
Beautiful,
confetti
isn't it?
ombre. This is a 2.5 metre piece, so this really is a good quilt backing. And again, you can
Brilliant.
see how the ombre goes from selvage through. It's very pretty.
Yeah, 2.5 metres of an extra wide is going to do a decent size
Yeah,
quilt for you, isn't it?
it will do
Jenny?
you a big quilt, and
Yeah.
you'd be able to do pillow slits
And-
and all sorts to go with it.
These are on a cracking deal. This is what we do. We get our bolt ends, and we give you a whacking great discount off it. So do grab those quickly. They won't hang around.
Yeah, because they are literally, once they've gone, because these are the last bits of
and
this.
it's not often we have the 108s that go into the bolt ends. We don't obviously stock anywhere near as many 108s as we do our regular fabrics, so you will see bolt ends come and go, and they'll quite often be our standard width quilting
Yes.
fabrics.
Yeah.
Our 108s, not so often.
No, they're
Okay.
quite rare, and,
Yeah.
and as Gemma says, we don't have the.
And quite often
range of
we
bolt ends,
skedaddle them away and give them to you to back our quilts with as well. So
Yes,
on
because
this particular occasion, I just had a moment yesterday where I said, we've got fabric due in, I want a clear shelf, let's just whip all those and bolt end them. Natasha doesn't know. It's fine. But it'll be tidy. Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah,
It's
she'll be
all
fine with that. She'll be
no,
happy.
It's okay. She says. I do believe we've got some more 108s on their way soon as well. Which are a
Lovely.
little bit special. I've got first dibs. Half metre Heavens, Jane. We've got on the top here some that we've seen before
Yes.
that have been rather loved, and we've squeezed a few extras out.
Mhm.
So these all go live at midnight tonight. You'll be able to purchase these from then. Some of you are the late owls / early birds.
Yes,
who
we
are
see
there
you. We
at
see
2
you.
minutes past midnight checking out.
We
Someone
see
last
you.
week, bless her, who said she'd put the half metre Heavens. She was on at 11:58 waiting.
Yes.
She grabbed the one she wanted and put it in her basket, put some others in, and checked out at 2 minutes past 12, and that one had gone.
Somebody had beat her to it.
Because someone had checked it out at 1 minute past 12. We know what you're all like. We do.
Yeah.
But,
oh,
you know,
it is a shame because when
luck of the draw.
quite often you think, oh, because it's in my basket, it's mine, and until you've checked it out, it isn't.
Checked it out. No, of course.
And we don't have many of some of them, so.
No. Right, we're going to overhead, and we'll have a little
some
peep at
beautiful
these.
Cape Raymond
The numbers
glass.
on these might not be accurate.
Pink. This is with sky. Look how that blue just pulls this bit here.
So pretty, isn't it?
It's such a pretty fabric. This would make pretty little girls' dresses.
Really lovely. You're
Love
using Roman glass in a different colourway today, Jane, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
It's a really versatile, fabulous print with lots of different colours through it.
Yeah, it's got so many colours in it that you can virtually put any colour with it because, you know, we all know what Kate's like with his colours, fabulous. And you can really use that as a focus print and then put other planes with it.
Yeah.
And it would work with lots of things, makes lovely scrappy designs. This is some Wildflower by Moda Floral Tossed Cloud. This is another pretty fabric. Yeah. Look at that. I love a ditzy floral.
Yeah, really lovely.
And we have put this with the cyan.
And you know, Jane, this would be really lovely for some of the makes that Natasha's done recently. I'm going to include her scissor case in this.
Yeah.
So if you didn't see yesterday's show, Natasha showed you how to make, she's used denim for this one, as you see. She showed you how to make a template for any pair of scissors that you own to then make an absolutely bespoke scissor case. But there's absolutely no reason why you couldn't use this.
Yeah.
It would be gorgeous.
It's a really pretty
lovely
one. And the cyan, strangely, makes the green pop in this.
Bizarrely, you'd think the blue
it's
would
really
jump
strange.
off.
You'd think it would make all these blues pop, but it doesn't.
No.
There's a lovely sort of chartreuse type green in there, and the blue against it, and all the greens pop, which is amazing.
One of those little anomalies that we can't
I love the way
away.
the colour works. Now then, is this a bit... Oh, this is Moda. The Sea and Me, Ocean Friends.
Yes.
Look at these are so sweet. The
fabric is
octopus
adorable.
and whales and turtles and all the sea creatures.
But I love the little faces. It's
Yes.
like, you know, little octopus here looks very happy.
Yeah, they all look very content in their world. And this is with spearmint, which just is a slightly shade lighter than the background, but just enhances it lovely.
Really nice.
Make a beautiful swim bag, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would be lovely for that.
Yeah.
Really nice. Or, you know, a wash bag, whatever, something for the bathroom. That would be really cute.
Really lovely. And then we've got some more of the Moda Wildflowers. This is Floral Fields. God, my put my teeth in. Floral
Pop your
Fields.
teeth in, Jane. Pop
with
your teeth
a bit of marine. And the marine in this just pulls that blue in those lupins. Look at that. That's beautiful.
Really gorgeous.
This is real English country garden. You know, you've got primroses, lupins, all sorts of pretty flowers, some Michaelmas daisies in there.
Gorgeous.
Just lovely little print. Very nice.
Susan Bishop's joined us. She says, morning, lovely ladies. Well done for surviving the drive into work. Watching you live today as I'm to have hip injections tomorrow, and watching your show takes my mind off the pain for a while.
Oh, that can't be much fun.
And Janice says, hello, lovely people. I'm in snowy West Wales having a treat joining you because I'm not driving into Aberystwyth on our icy roads.
I know, they've got it really quite heavy in Wales,
definitely.
I think.
She says, just keep crafting, just keep crafting.
Yes.
So happy to be here.
This is some Lisa Chandler, Under the Aussie Sun.
Yes.
This is the stripe in, is it black and red?
Yeah.
Black and red.
Yeah.
And we've put some of our cardinal with that, which just matches this red in these flowers beautifully. But as with Lisa, the beautiful gold metallics that almost shimmer.
Oh, stunning.
Gorgeous. Absolutely lovely.
But there was a few that mentioned last week, Jane, when we had to resort to desperate measures on the sound, and I was using my phone for the sound. I did hover my phone over the half-metre heavens as well. And the people that hadn't had the Lisa were saying about the metallic and just how beautiful it is.
This
it's
is the peel
elegant.
The teal and pink, not the peel and tink.
Peel and tink?
Yeah,
we'll
teal and pink. That's a new colourway. And this is with coral. And again, this coral just picks out that lovely shade.
Gorgeous.
Lisa's fabrics, her shading, we all know, 15 screen prints. And the pinks in there. It's not just pink. There's about 4 shades of pink within in these little flowers.
Lovely.
Absolutely gorgeous. The depth of pattern is lovely.
Auntie Lizzie's just said that she made a beautiful jewellery wrap with Lisa Chandler and she forgot to take a photo. This would lend itself so nicely to a project like that.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous.
Really nice. We've got some
and
more
if you do take
sharks
photos
here.
of your makes, guys, please do make sure you go to natashamakes.com, pop over to the community makes page and upload those images. Just bear in mind that the world and his wife will be able to see them once we've approved them, because we do have to approve them for obvious reasons.
Yes,
Can't just let anyone
everyone
upload
put
anything.
No.
Oh, crikey bobs. But it's a lovely way to share your makes with us and with the entire community. If there's something you just want to show myself, Jane, Natasha, the team, you can send it to us, info@natashamakes.com, and just let us know it's for our eyes only.
Yes, we have had people do that, and that's lovely, because we do like to see what you've been making with all the fabric we sell you. To. It's lovely.
Inga in particular will grab a bundle quite often and say, oh, look at all this together. What do you suppose they're making? Do you think it's wonderful quilts or lovely dresses? You know, she gets really invested, and she loves it when she can see what has been made.
Yeah.
Makes her day.
We've got some Riley Blake here, Riptide, which is beautiful. Again, sharks, whales, rays. And we put slate with that, which just pulls out this lovely blue here. Again, nice wash bags, swimming bags. I always think that this would make a nice little shirt. See a nice little shirt with this.
Yeah, Martin says shark fabric with some heart emojis. Yeah, absolutely.
We love sharks. We've got some cave feathers here. This is feathers in contrast. Now, I love this print. It is a versatile print. Again, if you like fussy cutting, and even if you just strip piece this, you get so many variations. It'd be lovely. There's so much going on in there, and we've put that with our purple, and that just pulls out this purple that's just this shaded in here, just a tiny bit of it. Little accent within these purples, but it works beautifully and really lifts the blues that are in there as well.
Cave's feather print is one of those really versatile things that can be used for all sorts. And I mean, Natasha did her lovely big cockerel.
Yeah.
There's been various projects we've used this in that actually they don't need a feather, but once you cut it and move it and change it, the detail in every small portion of that just is stunning. That's the most recent colourway of the feathers.
This is Hokusai's mom. Oh yes, this is Hokusai's mom's.
Yes, in hot. Now last week we had this up with sapphire, and it flew out, disappeared, gone.
We put it with Hawaiian.
We have,
because it's got this like turquoisey tealy blue here, and it just pulls all of that. And look how that makes those golds and yellows in there just lift.
This would be a real hero fabric in your stash, because like we say, we put it with sapphire last week, we've put it with Hawaiian this week, but there are pinks, there are purples, there are magentas, there are this amazing lovely shades of green. There's all sorts. You're going to find this goes with a lot of what's already in your stash. And we've all
this is another fabric that you will find if you cut it into squares or strips. You're going to get a different view each time.
Yes.
It's not a consistent fabric. It's going to give you some really lovely effects.
And I think a lot of people worry that they, with a large print like this, Jane, that they need to be able to make something that has big pieces. Yeah. But we really
look
often...
at that. If you strip piece that, look how lovely that is.
I'll tell you what I did with the one quilt that I did for Megan. I got the cactus flower. You'll remember this, Jane. I did a quilt. It was one of my first quilts that I made whilst working at Makes, and it was sort of textured plains.
Yes.
And it was like an around the world type
Yes,
quilt.
I remember it.
I backed it in some shirt stripes cave.
Yes.
So the back was way jazzier than the front. But the binding, I just kept looking at different binding fabrics, didn't like any of them. And I bought cactus flower cave. Now, of course, that's going to end up super skinny, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
But the little splashes of colour, as I put that round that quilt, it had all the colours that were in all those textured plains on the front in it. My daughter doesn't like florals. So for me to put a flowery fabric round the outside, you'd go, oh no. But it just almost looked like brush strokes.
Yeah.
As if an artist had gone round the edge, which is exactly what I wanted. I
wanted
and
to
it
just pulled all the colours through, didn't it?
And you did the same with that.
Yeah, it would make a beautiful binding.
Yes. Aha, our friend Roman Glass
I love
again.
this Roman Glass.
Oh, look,
these are my colours.
Bare and with, because look, it's gone to sleep.
Frozen.
Mm-hmm.
Like I saw this morning.
Over the session. There we are. I'm taking over.
Taking over.
As usual. There we are.
This is some Roman glass. Or Roman glass, whichever way you like to say it. I say glass. Gemma says glass. Neither of us are wrong.
Nope.
This is blue and white, and we have put it with our mint, because look at this there's this little bit of minty green just flashing through there.
So fresh,
isn't it? It really makes it pop. It's a lovely, fresh, spring-like feel to it. Beautiful.
Oh, Auntie Lizzie's in love with the chrysanths that we showed a moment ago. So that was Hokusai's mum's.
Yes.
Which is
with Hawaiian. It is.
Yes. But it's Hokusai's mum's. Gorgeous.
Absolutely lovely.
Jane.
Right.
I feel like, we've excelled ourselves already here. All the beautiful things.
There's some gorgeous stuff. We are lucky to be where we are.
On the front of everyone sharing their makes, Julia says she's made a lovely stash.
Yes. I've got one of those. I have a fantastic stash, yeah.
We do this. Yesterday we did this. We try and hold each other accountable a little bit. So Jane's like, I need this because I'm going to make such and such with it. And we all went... we know it's just going into insulation.
Yes, just keeps my sewing shed warm. Yeah.
Exactly that.
I will make something with it one day. I don't have to say which day.
We're trying to make Izzy accountable though, because she did say she was going to make a wafty top, and we all want to see said wafty
Yes,
top.
we do. We do.
I let you off because you do a little bit of sewing a week.
Quilt a week's nothing, is it really?
So me saying then, well, you've not made anything yet. It's a little bit rich. Izzy, however, I'm going to give her a little tap. Come on, make your top.
Right,
Jane,
are we going to show
this
these
quilt
beautiful...
kit is a beaut. There we are.
Right, we've got two quilt kits. That's my rather jazzy Cafe version, which we will demonstrate with.
Lovely.
These are the beautiful French General fabrics, and this will make the quilt behind me. It is 60 by 60, so quite a good size. There's a metre of the... it's Le Grand Soirée.
I shall pop this here so they've got reference for what they're making while you're showing. There we are.
And this gives you the blues. All of these, there's a blue, a red and a cream, and they are the same print. And then there's another cream which is rather beautiful, more like a vine.
The collection's called Le Grand Soirée, and that particular print that you're talking about, the one that's the same, all three, is Enchanté Large Floral.
It is so pretty. It's classic French General. That lovely, it's almost a dusky red. It's not vibrant.
No.
It's just got a lovely warmth to it.
Yes.
And it's very classy. And if you have French General fabric, you will find that all the French General ranges will blend beautifully together. It has this lovely grey blue, which running through it, which is lovely. And there's also a little bit of lilac within the blue, and there's this beautiful green as well, and creams.
Jane, what I love about the French General red and the blue, that sort of grey blue as well, similar to with the Tilda really, is there's this really gorgeous softness.
Yes, it's very classical. Yeah. It's timeless. It's a timeless print that will go with anything. It's one of those prints, and you can spot French General fabrics, I think. Once you get to know Moda fabrics, you'll see French General, and you'll go, well, yeah, I recognise that.
And red can be quite difficult for people to include into their homes, but the Tilda and the French General reds, I just feel the faded red that you've got there. Yeah. It's so elegant. It really does make it. It's got almost a pinky corally tone to it, but it's definitely a lovely red, classical red. Gorgeous.
And there's these leaves here. This print here is quite directional, and it's almost like a vine growing up the print.
So that there is your Lully Florals in Pearl Ciel Bleu. So
you could have real fun cutting that to go, along the edge of something to take in the account of the movement of the fabric. Yeah,
really wonderful.
Really nice borders.
Gorgeous borders. So you have there the Lully Florals in Pearl Ciel Bleu or Ciel Bleu. Ciel means sky.
Yes.
I remember this because my French teacher when I was at school used to say, "Oh, le ciel est bleu," and I was like, "Oh, the sky is blue." Yes, I remember. So ciel is blue. Sky, sorry. So we have here Enchanté Large Floral in Ciel Bleu, Enchanté Large Floral in Pearl, and in Enchanté Large Floral in Faded Red, and then the Lully Floral in Pearl. And the kit itself, Jane, there's a lot in this kit.
There is a lot in the kit. I chose to use both the creams. Yes. So you get, if you wanted to use one cream, you would need 1.5 meters for the quilt behind us for that size. But I thought, well, we'll mix it up, and I've put 3/4 metre of each one of those, and you'll get 3/4 metre of the red as well, because you have slightly less blocks of the red and cream than you do the blue and cream. I will explain this later, but there's 1 metre of this blue.
Lovely.
And then the accent that I've used for the little squares and the binding is our claret plain, which is a deeper red but within the same colour tone. So it pulls the reds, makes them pop, I think.
It works really well, Jane.
So I've used that for the small squares that you can see, which create that diamond effect, and I've bound the quilt in that as well. So you've got 1.25 metres of that. So for the cafe variation, I have gone with the same colour for the background throughout. I haven't put 2 colours together.
Yes, so where you've got both shades of the
pearl, you will only have, I've put that together to make one. So you've only got sort of 1, 2, 3, 4 fabrics within the cafe one, but it's the same quantity of fabric.
Your meterage is right.
Yeah. So that's your Moda collection, the French General collection, which will make
me, Jane. Thank you.
Quilt. And then we've gone slightly, off piste with this one. Off piste
is right. Yeah.
We chose the Roman glass in. Is it? I can't remember. Is it black or is it brown? I can't remember what it is now.
Let me double check.
And I've chosen 2 blues in the cave. We've got I think it's Dorothy. To look at the selvage because I can never remember.
Yes, now that one's Charlotte in blue.
Charlotte in blue.
That I do know. The the Roman glass is jewel.
Jewel.
Yes, as in jewellery.
Jewellery, yes. And then we've got some of the house leeks. And again, I can't remember the colourway of this. I think it's
the house leeks was dark.
Dark. And I chose these. This is predominantly sort of got a bluey red tone to it. So when I show you how to make the block, you'll understand, and I'm going to demonstrate with this one. So you'll have 1 metre of this one and 3/4 metre of this one, and then you've got 1.5 metres of that one. And then I've chosen for my contrast, I went boom.
You did
corn
really?
Yellow.
And we did play with things, didn't we?
We did.
Looked at really subtle things. We looked at a bit of salmon, and because there's so many colours in these fabrics, there's several that would have worked. But in the end, that was the hero.
Yeah.
It was the right choice as well. We'll see that in your sample.
Picks out this bit of yellow that's in the Roman glass.
Lovely.
It lifts the greens in this one, and there's all sorts of golds. There's hidden gold colour.
Love a bit of hidden gold.
In this fabric here. Just a little highlight, but it really pulls it up. So that's my choice for the cafe one.
Very clever of you, Jane. And Natasha has put these on a opening deal for you. So these quilt kits today with all that fabric in are $59.99.
Wow.
$59.99. The instructions are separate as always. We like you to be able to buy more than one quilt kit if you want, because we know some of you do, without having to be stung for the instructions being included in there. But also we have a printed version of the instructions, and we have a digital, because we know, again, some of you really love to have printed instructions and keep them in a folder.
Yeah.
Others like to have them digital so that you know you're going to be able to find them.
That's right.
And that's absolutely fine. So the choice is there. You can pick whichever version you like. And maybe you've already got a quilt instruction and you're looking at this fabric and thinking, well, that's a really nice deal.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more there than I need. We don't know, do we, Jane? We're not judging, are we?
No, you don't have to make a quilt with it. You could just have the fabric for your stash.
Or you can make a different quilt.
Yeah.
And if you did, all I'll say is, if you do want to share, she won't be offended. She'd like to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not precious about my patterns.
No, but we do like to see.
We do.
We are inherently nosy.
Now, there's quite a bit of cutting within this quilt. It's all done with 2.5-inch wide strips.
Yes.
So it would lend itself to a jelly roll.
Yeah.
You could make yourself a jelly roll.
Use
Stripology ruler will whiz through it.
Really whiz through it.
Because when you get to the contrast, these little squares, you need 180 of those. I said that quietly, so you don't hear that. So yes, all the cutting instructions are there. It's made in a log cabin fashion, so it's very straightforward, and we're going to crack on and make it, shall we?
Amazing.
We'll make the block. Izzy's been helping me
I
with
was
some
going to
prep.
say, you've had the best little assistant this morning, haven't you?
I have.
Just happy if we plug the iron in, Jane, I find.
Well, that's always helpful.
Works better, so let's do that, because no doubt we'll need that. I just pressed the button and I thought, that's not glowing. It is now. Plugs help, apparently.
Yes, they do. It's funny how that happens, isn't it? So, your background fabric, whichever you choose. Now, when I say background fabric, I'm talking about the cream in the one behind me.
Yes.
And it's the Roman glass with this. That's the one that I'm looking at will have... it's got the most in it. It's in all the blocks, the background fabric is. And then you've got... it's like a half square triangle in effect.
Nice.
You've made a divide with the block.
Okay.
So we've got the contrast fabric and the background fabric, same size square. We're going to sew those together down one side, 1/4 inch seam throughout. You're going to need to do
those
quite...
bolt ends, Jane, they're very distracting in my shot. Look at that.
Oh yeah.
No one needs to see those, and besides which, you should imagine they'll be toddling away.
They won't
from
last
the quilting
long.
very, very soon. So let's put them near the door.
So one seam there, and this project lends itself to chain piecing quite nicely. So once I would make one block, see how it goes together, and
Yes.
then just crack on with that. You can chain
Lovely.
piece all of your pieces together. Now, once you've got those two squares together, have the contrast fabric facing you, and take your next background strip and put that on the right hand side of that pair of squares there. And again, we're just going to sew that. So you can see it's like log cabin at this point. And it is a log cabin construction, you know, we start with a centre square and we'll work our way around it.
Oh, I've got a question over on that there YouTube, which I'm just going to quickly answer, Jane. It
Just
relates
gone
to one
off
of our half-metre heavens.
Yes.
And she wanted to know the fabric with the whales and the octopus, etc. on,
Yes.
which it was. Now, that
It's Moda.
is...
It's the
I'm
Moda
assuming
one.
It's not the Riley Blake one, is it?
No,
it's
it's the one with the spearmint.
Hello, you. Come here. This one. Do you mean this one? This very beautiful one. This is the Sea and Me Ocean Friends. Now, I will just quickly pull that up for you. So I've only just done some work on this product this morning to make sure it's ready to go live at midnight, but I've thought of various other things since then. Yes, it's... Oh, do you know, this is awful, this is. I really like to use the names properly.
Yes.
But it's Stacey What's the Chops, whose name I can't say. Stacey, is it?
It's Sue.
IEST space HSU is her surname, and I'm ever so sorry.
IS2, I think it says.
Yes,
but
IS2 or something.
It's IS2.
Anyway, she designed it for Moda. The collection was the Sea and Me, and this is called Ocean Friends. So yes, that goes live at midnight, in answer to your question. And
That's
now
lovely.
I shall shush and let you carry on, Jane. Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry, Jane.
So we've got that. So we've got the two background strips and the contrast strip now.
Lovely.
So the next thing to do is you're going to have your colour. So I'm going to do the blue on this one. So you've got blue and red in the French General one. So all the blocks are constructed the same way. And it's all in the instructions. So you've got your two squares there. You're going to sew those together, similar to the centre. Now, there's a lot with the pressing with this, and it's going to help you. So I always press away from the centre square. Can we go over?
Oh, sorry. There it is.
I always press away from the centre square. So this is my centre square. That's my top piece, then that's piece 2 on the right hand side. So I've pressed that seam towards away from the centre square. So with this one here, this piece here is going to go with the contrast colour on the right hand side. So if I press my seam under the blue, under the colour on this side, and when I place those together I can nest that seam there. So I've got that seam going that way and that seam going that way.
Marvellous.
So when I come to sew them, it locks it in and it doesn't move. You can of course pin these together. When I come to press this away from the centre square, you can see now that because it's locked in, you get nice crisp points. And I'm going to press that now. I'm going to go with the iron now, Gems. I'm going to.
Excellent. Do you want it straight on top?
Yeah, just. Okay. Wonderful. So that's still my centre square, and then this is row 3.
Lovely.
Going on there. Row 4, we've got the next size that fits across those two, and our contrast square will sit on the top. So we're going to sew that to the short side of the strip. Great. And we always sew the contrast square onto the side, onto the coloured side of your block. And I'm saying coloured side because in my mind it's a background and a colour.
Okay.
So
your contrast square is going onto your feature pattern fabric.
Onto your feature fabric, the one that's not consistent throughout the quilt. So again, we've got the seam facing this way towards the contrast on there.
Yes.
So now I'm going to press that seam facing the opposite way. So again, when I place that on there, I can nest my seam.
This is what I taught Izzy to do, and she calls it clicky seams.
Yes, because they do. They like click together.
I said, you just need to slide them together so you can kind of feel them click.
That's right.
Click. I said, well, yes, they notch together. They sort of.
You almost feel it, don't you? Unless it clicks in.
You do. And if you don't, you're like, hang on a minute, and then you put a pin in, and then invariably you check and go, no, it wasn't right. I knew it wasn't right. So you do it again.
And again, we're going to press that away. So this is our centre square. That's our centre square, and we're pressing the seam away from there.
Lovely.
Thinking, Jamal? So then we take our next one is our background strip again, and that sits on the top. If you remember now, you've gone one round around your centre square, and we can use the log cabin rule of 2 seams. But you have got 2 seams down here, but with this pattern we're keeping the fabric the same. So obviously I don't want to put it down there because that fabric is not the same as that one.
No.
So your 2 seam rule, you're covering 2 seams but with the same fabric, just in case you put your block down and you think, oh God, which way am I going around this? That's a little hint to help you remember. Was it come unthreaded? Something's gone on. Yeah, it has. Let's just raise the needle.
Do you know though, if a machine didn't come unthreaded or something didn't occur, it wouldn't be true, would it?
No.
Would it be true to real life?
It happens to us all with every machine.
It does.
Your bobbin runs out, or your
no, quite right.
Thread comes undone.
Indeed. Martin says, so many lovely fabrics and no money in my bank. Oh dear. We all feel that, don't we?
Yeah, it's that January, isn't it?
It is. It is.
January, and we all had a lovely
I've been selling
time.
some stuff though. I've had a good old January tidy up and clear out, and it's amazing the stuff you hoard. And I've been selling things, and then I've been buying things that I really want. So I've got rid of a lot of stuff and just bought a small amount of stuff.
But you're selling it on like eBay or on your local?
I do chuck things at my mum because she does love a bit of eBaying. I taught her years ago. In fact, it's
still hasn't sewn. What's wrong with it?
So when we lost my granddad, you know, we lost my granddad and she lost her best friend, and it was literally 6 weeks apart.
Oh, that's sad.
And I just really needed to occupy her brain with something that she could just throw herself into. So I taught her to sell things on eBay, and so yes, sometimes on there, but Vinted as well is another one she uses quite a bit now, and Facebook Marketplace and so on and so forth. But I've been clearing out old handbags and items of clothing that don't fit, because why do we hang on to these things, Jane, and torture ourselves with
when I lose weight and I can get back into this.
Some of the things are a size 6, not even a size 6 shoe. But
there
honestly,
we go, that's better.
So yeah, I've been getting rid of some stuff and then
press that
using the spoils for things that I actually do want and need.
Yeah.
And things like handbags, I had so many and I thought I don't need them all. I'd rather have a few that I really love.
Yes.
So I sold lots and bought one. And then there's more space.
More space.
More space for more fabric, you see.
This is it.
All there. The thought process is all there. So you've sewn that one, Jane. We've pressed it.
Yeah, we pressed that away from what is the centre square. We've pressed it away.
Gorgeous.
We're going to put the next one of what I'm calling the background fabric, and we've got the 2 seam rule. 2 seams. Yes, we've got 2 seams that side, but if I put it on that side, it doesn't match the fabric.
No, got it.
You've got a different design. Not the end of the world, but this is this is the design I'm going for.
Yep.
So 2 seams matches the fabric.
Marvellous. Marvellous. Michelle's late, but has joined us now. She's on the sofa with a cuppa.
Lovely.
We could have gone with that today, Jane, couldn't we?
Yes.
On the sofa with a cuppa.
Well, Gemma very nearly did the show on her own.
That would have been so much fun.
My husband,
me showing you
bless him.
fabrics and talking, but not much demo.
My husband, bless him, it's his weekend.
Yeah.
So he's off, so he's sleeping normal nights, not walking nights. And he got up this morning and he helped me clear the car, make sure I'd got water in my water washer.
Yeah.
And he said to me, "You will text me when you get there, won't you?" And I was like, "Yes, I will."
Oh, bless him.
And he was like, "Go on the main roads, but go steady." I was like, "Yes, I will." I was just like, "It was so lovely."
Yeah, Guy goes out and clears all the ice and snow off my car and Meg's in the morning.
Yeah.
Good
well,
as gold.
I'm also very lucky in that because he works nights, he'll quite often come in and put my car on and take defrosters. I have got a screen cover so that the windscreen's clear.
Yes.
But he'll quite often just turn the engine on, put the heater on for me so that I get into a warm car, because he's kind like that.
Sylv thinks she caught me sneaking a little swig of gin. I'd love to say it's gin. Do you know, it's far more childish, and I have to turn away to drink because I've got the Ribena beaker, kids Ribena beaker. So.
With a warm Ribena in, which is just what you need on a day like today. Oh, is it not warm?
Ribena, but that's fine. But yeah, the beaker, it's not very presentable, is it? So
we should have to get some nice glasses, shouldn't we, really? So we've got our accent fabric, and we're going to put the contrast fabric on the sew that to the short side.
Lovely. Sylv wants to know, is there going to be a twiddle in the middle with this one, Jane?
There doesn't need to be, Sylv. You could if you wanted to, but I think you might drive yourself slightly dotty trying to do it. So
no twiddle today.
That seam's going that way, so I'm going to press the seam that way on my strip, so towards the accent fabric, so that when I come to put those together, those 2 seams will nestle.
Oh, Auntie Lizzie's had a new Chromebook arrive, but she can't drag herself away long enough to log it on. That's all right, it'll still be there after the show.
Yes, you'll have all afternoon then to play.
You will. Definitely.
So now we're going to press that away again.
Lovely.
Fabulous. There we go. And now we've got the strip that goes here. No, it goes there. You can see how that works.
Yeah.
And we put the contrast fabric on there. That's the correct way of the block as we're working it. So we've gone, this is block 1, 2, 3. That's round 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this is the last one, 9th one. So we'll put that one on there, sew it together. you might find it easier once you've cut all your pieces is to just lay one of the blocks out so that you can see how it goes together, and then you can pick each piece up individually. And again, we've got that seam there facing that way, facing upwards. So we're going to, on this strip, we're going to press that seam so it faces downwards, away from the contrast square.
Lovely.
There we go. And we're going to place that on there. Just lining those seams up. And again, you know, pop a pin in it if you feel more comfortable pinning your fabric, then do so. You know, we all like to do things differently and we all get to the same result.
Auntie Lizzie's just come up with a suggestion I've not seen before for defrosting the car. Says, have you seen the trick of putting hot water in a thick plastic bag and then just sweep it across the windscreen?
Yes, I'd seen that. Was it a YouTube thing or something? And I thought, oh, that's really clever.
I always wonder whether it's going to be one of those things that doesn't actually work, that they've just done to make you look ridiculous in the street and have everyone laugh. You know, because
I'll be all right there, because the time I do it, nobody else is around.
No one is to see apart from milkman. Possible milkman.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Look
so
at that.
There we go. That is the block.
Wow.
And you will make. Now, I haven't quite. Izzy and I were trying so hard to get the blocks made because we wanted to show you the layout. I have got a few here to put together, but I haven't quite finished it.
That's all right. I think you've done remarkably well this morning.
I couldn't have done it. I couldn't have done it without Izzy. Bless her. She was such a star.
Marvellous.
I don't know if you've got anything that you want to tell people about, because I could quickly get these.
Nothing like throwing me under the bus there, Jane, so I will try and think of something marvellous.
I'm just thinking I would really love to be able to show everybody, and I think, you know, watching me chain piece these blocks might be a little bit like watching paint dry.
Possibly. What I might do is just recap what Natasha has done earlier this week. So, she started on Monday.
Is the machine going to sort of drown you out?
Oh, possibly, but we'll give that a go. So Natasha started on Monday with a rather fabulous make, a Lisa Chandler make, called the Melba Purse Collection. It is a collection of purses. She's forgotten to take this with her as well. She's going to be so annoyed.
Yeah, well, we're pleased.
This is her new set. And then she'd also made a sparkly one for Captain Small. She's forgotten all of them, so she's going to be really miffed. This is Lisa's pattern. This is Natasha's. And this will be up later today. So the purse has 3 different options. You've got one that is a sewing purse, so you've got space to put bobbins, needles, all sorts of things. You've got another that's a card purse. Should we just go into overheads and I'll show you? I could carry on gabbing, but let's have a look, shall we? That's a much better idea. So this is Natasha's new purse. Her actual purse that she's going to use in her handbag. And it's got the most lovely purse frame, so we have ordered more of this hardware. The hardware sold out in milliseconds. We've ordered more hardware. You just flip it up here, she says. Okay, and then it unlocks. And this is a zipped purse, so Natasha has got a nice zipped area here. She did say actually on her future ones she'll put the zip on the side that doesn't have the little pointy out bit. Not that it doesn't work, but it's probably easier to have it the other side. And then you've got sections for cards. You've got a little bit for a pen. It's gorgeous. You've got space for your notes.
I just think it's such a versatile pattern, that, isn't it? Because you could use it for anything.
So versatile. And the fabric that she's used actually is really lovely. Let's just have a quick peek at that. So this is some Liberty that Natasha got in from Italy. Look at that. Just gorgeous. There might be a smidgy bit left of the Liberty. I'm not sure there's a lot though, to be honest. It did sell rather well. So that was one purse option. This is the zipped one. We then have this. She's done them in faux suede. She's done them in denim. This would look amazing in Lisa's tile print as well. In fact, on the pattern, it does show that if you have a look online. But yeah, this is another zipped one. Lovely. And then this here is the sewing one, which I just think is gorgeous.
I love that.
Space, put your little unpicker. She's got her sew line leads for her sew line pencil. She's got some machine needles.
I love the bit in the middle with the bobbins. I think that's really clever.
I know, to be able to store your bobbins like this, that's really helpful. And quilt clips as well. But there's lots of different little pouches. This would be really great for EPP because you've got space to put bits and bobs. So right down to sew line glue pen. You've also, because you have all of these patterns available within the one pattern, you could pinch this little pen notch here and use it in this pattern so that you've got somewhere to put your sew line glue pen or your fabric marking pens.
Yeah.
You know, you can combine these patterns together and have a little play with that. But what a gorgeous make. And that's another colourway of that gorgeous Liberty that she brought in that I mentioned. Ooh, come on. Let's get the camera to focus, Jane. It always helps. There it is.
It's probably...
Isn't that fabulous?
Because the sewing machine's working, it's probably distracting it.
And the hardware, of course, just
those purse clips were just amazing.
Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. We have more on the way. She's paid extra for express, but that's still because they do take normally like several weeks to months to come in. We're still hoping that they'll be in. So should we go for 2 to 3 weeks? Should we hope for that, Jane?
Shall we?
Yeah,
we'll be optimistic.
She has paid extra for that. But that was a Lisa pattern. What Natasha's done then as well is she has had a little rework of our lanyard. You may have seen the ribbon lanyard before, key fob lanyard. What she's done this time is make a luxury version, so it uses PU. So she's got some faux suede here, there's some glitter PU as well, but there's all sorts of different ways to do this. These are really handy if you're going dog walking, because you can just slot that around your wrist and hold the dog lead, and then you're good. You've not got to worry about having, especially in the summer, Jane, when you don't necessarily have a coat on to put a key in.
Yeah.
It always ends up going in your undergarments otherwise, doesn't it? You're ferreting around for your key in your undergarments. It's not the most glamorous thing in the world.
Not the best look.
So there's been some really beautiful makes. That was Monday's show. Yesterday, I did show you quickly earlier during the Half Metre Heavens, she made the scissor, the any size scissor case. Now again, this was a sort of make of necessity really. We do quite often find this is the case. We need something, we covet something, Natasha ends up designing it. I think it's the best way really.
Yeah, it's a good way of creating things because we know there's a need for it.
Absolutely.
Even if it's only just ours.
Exactly. I know, but this is quite often the case. You know, the brush roll that she did a little while ago, that was a make of need, but this most certainly was. So because Natasha's going backwards and forwards, her scissors are getting thrown about all over the shop, and it's just nice to know that she's got something to keep them in. But they come in different shapes and sizes, and you know, with the best will in the world, you're not going to buy a scissor case that fits every pair of scissors. So Natasha yesterday showed you how to get your scissors, how to create a template, and how to make this scissor case for any size. So it could be for a big pair of scissors like this, it could be for a dinky little pair of embroidery scissors, you know, and anything in between or bigger. And it had a little popper fastening, and you just slot them in, which is rather wonderful. So then you've got your scissor case. So that was lovely too.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that's what's been going on this week, Jane. That's what we've been making.
There's been some beautiful makes and some gorgeous fabrics.
Yes. We've had a really nice couple of weeks of it, really. And you're saying about gorgeous fabrics, it's like we've had the periwinkle colourway of the Lisa Chandler. This has been a favourite, hasn't it? The
the Bojangle bags.
Yeah. But this fabric, this particular fabric,
that periwinkle blue is
just a fan of the fans.
Amazing.
Let's see if we can get the metallic up on close up actually. But we have just loved this fabric. It's so beautiful. I'm really hoping Lisa does more with the blue.
That blue colourway is just stunning.
So
we all fell in love with it. As soon as it came through the door, we were like, oh, this blue is beautiful.
We did. And then Natasha had ordered this hardware. And when the hardware came in, She said, oh, it's a wristlet bag. And I said, but is it a wristlet bag though? I think of a wristlet bag as being more of a rectangular one with one of those, a bit like the key fob lanyards.
Yes,
that sort of wristlet.
just fits over you, yeah.
I said, this isn't, this is a bangle bag. Is it
Yes.
a bangle bag? I said, well, that's a bangle, isn't it? And it's great because you can just, you know, be hands-free, and if you can imagine being at a party and having your glass of wine.
It
but
reminds me a
realised
little
it
bit of
jingled and
the Regency ladies when they had their dance card.
Exactly. But it jingles and jangles as well.
Yes, so it's
So
definitely
we were
a
saying it's the
bojangle.
jingly jangly bag,
Yeah.
the bangle bag, and ended up being the Bojangles bling bangle bag because there was some bling on it as well. So yeah, that's been lovely. We've had a really nice time of late designing some really beautiful things and making some really lovely things because we're fortunate with the designers we work with. Lisa's patterns are lovely too.
Absolutely, they're really versatile, aren't they?
Yeah, really versatile.
Can I be cheeky and ask you to just press those
upwards?
Yes, please, if you would.
Jane's at that point now where she's not bothered. Just any old how, Gemma, any old how. Let's get.
I just want to get the blocks made so I can show you how the quilt layout goes and how you can change it around as well and get different effects. Because basically, when you look at the block, it's like a half square triangle. So any pattern that you feel that you could do with a half square triangle, you could do with this block.
Vicky is going to be all over this. She loves seeing a pattern and reworking it for her own visions.
I think that's the beauty of patchwork because you can. You could change the colours of the contrast squares. You could put different colours in each square, you know, and have an ombre or a rainbow effect going on, and keep the feature fabrics sort of plainer, so that your contrast fabric is the one that is the feature. You know, you can just. This is the beauty of patchwork, isn't it? It is versatile. You can adapt and change and make things your own. I think this is what happens in the patchworking world. Yes. There are so many classic blocks out there that with just a little twist in colour or layout and it becomes something completely different. And I think that's why I love it so much, because you can make so many variations from one block.
I do hope these weren't in any particular order, Jane, because if they were...
No.
I've just scuppered that totally.
No, don't worry. No order, because we know which colours we've got with what, so it's fine.
Well, this is proof, if ever it was needed, Jane, that throwing this quilt together at high speed is achievable.
Yeah.
In a morning.
It can be. You could definitely make this quilt in a weekend. The quilt top, and if you've got the facility to, you know, the size and the space, you could get it quilted as well. I've done very simple quilting on it. I followed through the block seams, and then I've literally done a straight line through the diagonal of the contrast squares.
There we are.
I mean, you could do more, you could do less. It's entirely up to you, but that is the basic
you've got
amount
some
of
space,
quilt,
haven't you?
Yeah.
If you did want to do some, you know,
you could have some real good fun with
motion.
Some free motion in the shapes and everything. You could really go to town on that.
But these blocks are just coming together so beautifully. It
They
is
do look
so
lovely.
impactful.
They do look lovely. Now my quilt layout is 636, so it's 6 blocks by 6 blocks in a row by 6 rows. I have made this morning, Izzy and I have made 16 blocks, so we can show you the very sort of basic layout. You can of course make more, you could make it bigger, you could make it longer. Once you know how to make the block, you can increase it or decrease it however you wish. You could just use the centre 4 blocks to make a cushion that matches. You could make your strips smaller and therefore your squares smaller, so you could make your block smaller. You know, you could make bigger strips and make your block bigger. It's a versatile pattern. It's, you know, very easily adapted to create bigger, smaller. You could have fun with striped fabric in your strips, you know, you could have your stripes going one way on one side and the other way on another. You can be really creative. Is everybody falling asleep now watching me just make blocks?
No, there's a lot of people saying that your demo's been really clear and really helpful. There has been some questions about the plain subscription. There was a slight delay on those this month, so they are in transit.
Yeah,
it was the neutrals colourway this month. And Jane, if you missed that show, she did a gorgeous quilt called the Echo Star quilt. So that's definitely worth a watch back.
I think, you know, we forget that we're quite a small team.
Yes.
There's actually 3 of us that do the cutting and packing on a day-to-day basis in the warehouse.
Yeah.
And we were closed for 7 days.
Yeah, closed for Christmas.
So we didn't really think about how much we'd have to do when we got back.
Well, I think, and the main problem we had with the plain subs was that the supplier that sends us that fabric, they had huge backlogs, and so as much as we had 99% of the fabric we needed, we were missing a colour, and there's no point of sending out a plain subscription without one of the colours. And they had all sorts of problems with their shipping as well. So it just meant those bundles were sat there waiting for that final colour to be cut, labelled, popped in, and then they could be sealed and sent out. So, you know, a combination of factors, but they are now in transit and on their way to you. And it was the neutrals.
They were gorgeous. They were such a lovely array of creams and beiges and white, and it was really lovely to work with. It's such a versatile bundle, that bundle. I mean, that's the one that you would want in your stash, just so that you knew that you've got those lovely neutrals that would go with anything. Right, this is the last one. And I can then show you the layout, because I just wanted to show you how easy it is to change it around and make your stripes go different ways. This is where having a pad of squared paper comes in really handy, because you can plot this out. You know, you can draw a square, just draw a line through it. You know that line represents your contrast squares, and then you can start moving it around and creating different designs. We have got the block here with the blue. I've done mostly those ones. They're going to go on the outside edge. And then we've got the other fabric here. I just did 4 of those. So, as I say, you're working with, in effect, a half square triangle. Yes. You've got one colour one side and your contrast colour the other. Mm-hmm. This one we've treated as our background fabric. So we would put those 4 together like that to make the middle block. And as you can see, those 4 blocks together, they would make a lovely cushion.
Gorgeous. That looks amazing.
So the next row, and we'll probably only be able to see 3 rows on camera.
That's okay.
I wanted mine to create a diamond effect. So I put my background fabric, if you like, together on that row. And then this row here, this creates the next row up. So for 4, it would go that way, and then these ones would go on the side here. So these ones would come down, bring in that triangle there, and that will, the wrong way round, it's that way, because you want your background square
matching your fabric there
against your background square. So that creates that row background fabric.
And then this one goes like this, Jane.
That's right. And then you'd have another row on the bottom that replicates that. Now, as I said, the quilt I've made has 6 blocks in it. So you'd have another, in effect, I haven't quite got enough, but it brings that around to create that next row, which creates the diamond effect.
Lovely, look at that.
But, you know, there's nothing to stop you just carrying it on and just having it going in stripes if you don't want to have, you know...
it's a really versatile block, this, Jane.
Yeah, if you didn't want to have... Obviously, you would have to think about your fabric placement. But it would go in stripes and it would look stunning, just stripped like that. You know, you can have it going either way, you know, either diagonal.
Fabulous, Jane. I love it.
It's lovely.
Really lovely.
It really is a nice block. And as I said, you know, if you work with half square triangles, you could have it going in chevron shapes as well.
Chris, I'm not understanding what you're saying. I'm trying to buy the French General kit and instructions, but I can't remove the grab bags from my checkout list.
So the grab bags are scrap bags?
Scrap bags, maybe? Chris, if you're struggling, but you can check out, if it's incorrect, we can, if we need to, refund you for items that shouldn't be on there afterwards.
You could have it doing...
If you're having a problem, you can always pop an email across to
crisscross shapes.
Oh, see, that's gorgeous as well, isn't it? And yeah, like you say, you'd match the fabrics.
You know,
up so
just think about how your fabric placement is going. You know,
if this
you
fabric
could put
here matched, then you'd end up with like a sphere, wouldn't you?
you would. Yeah, you could turn that round so that it goes like that and like that.
Oh, there's loads of things you could do with this.
You know,
it's a very versatile
block. It would make wonderful patterns. You could have such fun with it. And as I say, if you can get yourself a pad of squared paper, you can just...
Amazing.
And a colouring book, you know, colouring pen.
Oh, you're getting
all sorts of different sizes and shapes. So
gorgeous.
It's one of those, make the blocks, lay them out on your bed or on the table and just have a play, twist them around and have a look at what you can do with them.
No, it's great.
You can, really good fun, really interesting.
All the lovely compliments. So you can see this design here that Jane's just moved around again, changed, and then the original behind us. How versatile!
It is so versatile.
Different.
You can, you know, you could just make it into a zigzag. This is it's like one of those puzzles, isn't it? That you just keep moving the squares around.
Look that way for sure.
You could just make it
brilliant. We have people
zigzag.
saying, "Wowzer! I love that block. It looks amazing. You've surpassed yourself again, Jane Alcock. Well done, Jane. Fabulous demonstration."
It's got a chevron going on there, look, you see?
Yes, let's go overhead and have a little peep at the chevron. So again, another example
way
of what you can do with this.
Of what you can do with the block.
Look at that.
It is, in effect, a half square triangle.
This is the block that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
This is a pattern that you will go back to again and again, I think.
Yeah.
And as I say, you can make your strips wider, you make your square wider, you can make them smaller. You can have really good fun. You could make them scrappy, you know, you don't have to have all the same fabric. You could have shades of fabric on one side and shades of fabric on another. And really, really lovely.
Marvellous.
Lovely pattern to work with.
Lovely. SJ's jumped in just to let Chris know. And if anyone else has the same issue, if you click on your cart, you will see a remove button below the quantity. If you click on that, it removes any items that you don't want to purchase. Well done, SJ. Good-o.
I'm glad she knows how it all works.
Well, quite, absolutely, because we know it from our side, but not so much from the customer side. So, yes, I'm glad she knows. It's all good.
It's all good.
On Monday, Natasha will be here.
Yes.
Doing something else fabulous. So, these weeks, they whip by.
I was going to say, we're nearly through January, aren't we?
I know, it's absolutely crazy. And we've got plans for you as well next week, Jane, haven't we?
We have, yes.
I'm calling it affectionately an exploding star.
Exploding star. I think that's going to be its name.
Do you think?
Yeah, I think that's how it'll work.
This was just me giving it a working title so that we knew what we were doing. But yes, we have got all the makes again next week.
Yes.
Natasha's doing something special that I've requested her to do for perhaps a Mother's Day make, perhaps just for yourself, because it's beautiful and really practical and helpful and wonderful and fabulous.
Wonderful.
So she's got that going on too. And yes, your Exploding Star. And we've got a 4-show week next week because it will be the end of the month. It will be Pay It Forward.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Friday the 27th, the day before Mini PT turns 18.
Oh,
I know, my baby, our youngest.
You're going to be all right? Because it's quite emotional, isn't it?
It's bonkers, isn't it?
It
it's
is.
bonkers. So yes, Mini PT, a week on Saturday, will be 18.
You wait till she leaves home. It's
Oh,
worse.
shush, stop it,
It's
Jane.
worse.
I'm already empty nesting all over the shop. I don't need it. But yes, I know, it's a big week next week.
Lovely.
But tonight, at midnight, the Half Meter Heavens go live. Don't miss those. On Friday, don't forget, SJ will send out her Friday newsletter. There will be some wonderful things in that there Friday newsletter. Some beautiful exclusive buys and some amazing nice things in
that
that
looks lovely with your jacket.
That there Friday newsletter. She's going to be screaming at the screen.
She's going to be like,
showing all
you're
my
giving away my
things."
secrets.
There's normally a hook there that I'll hang on. But yes, some lovely things in the Friday newsletter.
Super.
And then Natasha will be back Monday.
Wonderful.
Thank you for joining us. The instructions for today's make are available in printed and digital format. The kits are there. We have limited stock. We will not be getting more of the French General in to make more kits. So if you want it, then grab it.
Yeah, grab it while you
That's
can.
our advice.
Yes.
Don't forget the bolt ends. Keep a little eye on the fabric clearance pages because you never know when we might just drop a few more things in there. And thank you, as always, for your support because without your purchases, we would not be here on your screens.
No, we wouldn't have a show without you.
We would not. Oh, Jane, I'm going to lie in a darkened room now.
Yes.
And then it's Big Back Wednesday, everybody.
Yes.
So thank you for joining us. And we will see you again very, very soon. Lots of love.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.